Okay, so you're here, which means you're ready for some serious IPL deep dive action.
Definitely pumped for this season.
Me too.
Yeah,
And you want the insights without wading through like a million articles, right?
absolutely.
We've got you covered. Because today we're focusing on a match that, well, it's got a ton of buzz already.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the Delhi Capitals going head-to-head with the Lucknow
Oh,
Supergiants.
man, that's a juicy one right off the bat.
Seriously, March 24th in Visakhapatnam, 7:30 p.m. India time.
Can't wait.
Mark it in your calendars, folks, because this is not just the first game of the season.
Nope.
It's the first game for both of these teams.
Which is huge. Think about all that pent-up energy.
Yeah, like they're coming in fresh, no baggage from previous matches.
And that makes it so unpredictable, you know?
Totally. It's like a blank slate. Anything could happen.
Exactly. Right. And to make things even more interesting, you've got these two squads that, honestly, on paper, they look pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, it's almost scary how balanced they seem.
Right. Plus, you throw in the new captains, Aksar Patel for Delhi and Rishabh Pant back leading Lucknow.
That's a whole other layer of intrigue right there.
Totally. How will they handle the pressure of that first match? New strategies. Bold moves.
The mind games have already begun, I bet.
I'm sure of it.
So that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
To give you that clear, insightful preview, the stuff that really matters.
So we're going to cut through the noise.
Yes. No fluff, just straight to the heart of what could decide this game.
We'll break down each team's strengths and weaknesses, of course.
Gotta know where they shine and where they might falter.
Right, then we'll factor in the pitch conditions in Visakhapatnam.
That always plays a role.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And we can't forget those head-to-head stats, you know.
Always fun to see how they've matched up in the past.
Exactly, some juicy history there. And hey, we might even sprinkle in some predictions.
Ooh, I love a good prediction.
Who doesn't?
So let's jump right into it, shall we? Delhi Capitals' first impressions. What's the vibe around this team?
Well, they've definitely got a buzz about them this year. And you know why? Balance.
Yeah.
They've got that beautiful balance in their squad.
I kind of like where this is going.
Look at their batting lineup. You've got experience in spades with KL Rahul.
And he wasn't cheap, was he?
Oh, no. They shelled out a cool Euro 14 crore for him.
That speaks volumes.
It does. It says they believe in his ability to anchor the innings. Alongside him, you've got the ever-reliable Faf du Plessis.
Another veteran presence.
Exactly. And then to spice things up, they've got this young gun, Jake Fraser-McGurk.
I've heard good things about him.
Oh, he's exciting. This kid could be a real game changer. Early on in the innings, he can set the tone.
I like that mix of steady heads and explosive potential.
That's the recipe for success in T20 cricket.
Speaking of recipes, their bowling attack last season, well, it wasn't always a five-star dish, was it?
You're right. They had moments of brilliance, but also some inconsistency.
And they seem to have taken that to heart, haven't they?
Big time. They've made some serious moves to bolster that bowling unit.
Like bringing in Mitchell Stark, for example?
Ah, yes. The big Aussie left armor, 11.75 crore they paid for him.
That's a statement signing.
It is. It shows they're serious about strengthening their pace attack.
And Stark, he brings that X factor, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He can swing the ball at pace trouble, the best batsman.
Plus, they've got Tina Tarajan back in the mix.
Another smart move. Now Tarajan's got that deceptive slower ball.
And let's not forget the spin wizard Kuldeep Yadav.
Always a threat, especially on pitches that offer a bit of turn.
So their bowling attack looks formidable on paper.
It does. But there's always a but, isn't there?
There's always a but.
In this case, it's the captaincy.
Yes. Aksar Patel, first time leading an IPL side.
Exactly. And well, while he's a fantastic player, you know, a proven match winner,
Oh, absolutely.
captaincy is a different beast altogether.
It's a whole other level of pressure and responsibility.
Right. The tactical decisions, managing the players, keeping a cool head in those crunch moments.
It'll be interesting to see how he handles it.
It will. He might lean on the senior players a bit, you know, get their input.
Makes sense. A collaborative approach.
Especially in the early stages as he finds his feet as captain.
Okay, so we've got a Delhi Capitals side with a potentially potent bowling attack.
And a solid batting core, but with that question mark over the captaincy.
Now let's switch gears and talk about the Lucknow Supergiants. What are their strengths going into this match?
Well, one word comes to mind: firepower.
Firepower. I like it.
Their batting lineup is stacked with explosive hitters, starting with the captain himself, Rishabh Pant.
And they paid a king's ransom to get him back.
27 crore to be exact.
Wow, that's a serious investment.
They're banking on his aggressive batting to lead the charge.
And who can blame them? Pant can single-handedly win matches.
Absolutely. And then you add Nicholas Purin to the mix.
Another power hitter.
Yeah, Pouring can clear the boundaries with ease.
So they've got that destructive middle order covered.
They do. And don't forget their overseas contingent.
Oh, yeah, they've got some serious talent from abroad.
Mitchell Marcho, David Miller, Aiden Markram.
All proven match winners in T20 cricket.
Exactly. Any one of those guys can take the game away from the opposition.
So that's their batting. Now what about their bowling?
Well, we've got some exciting young bowlers. Ravi Bishnoi, for one.
He's been making waves.
Yeah, he's a clever spinner. Takes wickets and keeps things tight.
And then in the pace department.
They got Avesh Khan and Mayank Yadav, both with raw pace and aggression.
So a good mix of youth and experience in their bowling ranks.
They've got all the bases covered, it seems.
Sounds like a well-rounded squad. But every team has its weaknesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some areas where Lucknow might be a bit vulnerable?
Well, injuries are always a concern, right? And they've got a few players who are carrying niggles.
That's never good news.
No, it's not. Especially someone like Mohsin Khan. If he's not fully fit, that's a big blow to their bowling attack.
They'll have to shuffle things around if he's not available.
Exactly. And another thing that caught my eye last season, both Rishabh Pant and Aiden Markram,
Yes.
they seem to struggle a bit against quality spin bowling.
Interesting. And Delhi has some pretty handy spinners in their ranks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kuldeep Yadav and Axar Patel.
That could be a key battle to watch.
It could. If Pant and Markram haven't addressed that weakness, Delhi will look to exploit it for sure.
Makes you wonder if they've been working on that aspect of their game in the offseason.
I'd be surprised if they haven't. They're both smart players.
All right, so potential weakness there against spin bowling.
Mm.
But let's move on to the venue, shall we?
Sure.
The Visakhapatnam pitch, what's the word on the street?
Well, generally it's known to be a pretty good batting track.
So high scores are on the cards.
Most likely. The average first inning score is around 180, so yeah, get ready for some fireworks.
That's music to the batsman's ears.
It is. The ball tends to come onto the bat nicely, allowing them to play their shots freely.
So bowlers might have their work cut out for them.
They might, but it's not all doom and gloom for the bowlers.
Okay, there's hope.
There's always hope. They'll just need to be smart about it.
So variations are key.
Absolutely. Changes of pace cutters, using the slower ball effectively.
And that tactical awareness you mentioned earlier, right? Reading the batsman's mind, anticipating his next move.
The mental game within the game.
Exactly. And the captains will need to rotate their bowlers, well, use them in the right situations.
So it's a battle of wits out there.
It always is in T20 cricket.
And what about the weather? Any chance of rain interrupting the action?
Thankfully, no. The forecast looks clear for match day.
So we should have a full uninterrupted game.
Fingers crossed for a classic encounter.
Absolutely. Now let's rewind a bit and look at the history between these two teams.
Okay.
Have they clashed often in the IPL?
They have a few times, and the matches have generally been pretty close.
No clear dominance then.
Not really. They both had their moments of triumph.
So past encounters don't really give us a clear indication of who might have the upper hand this time.
Not necessarily. Plus, you have to consider the changes in personnel. Both teams have new faces.
Right, so we can't read too much into those past results.
Exactly. It's more about how these current squads match up.
So, based on what we know about these teams right now, and considering the Visakhapatnam pitch, any early predictions on how this match might unfold?
Well, as we mentioned, Delhi's bowling attack looks pretty sharp this year.
Especially with Stark and Kuldeep.
Right, they could pose a real threat to Lucknow's batsmen.
But then again, Lucknow have that explosive batting lineup.
And that's the key factor here.
Yeah.
Can Delhi's bowlers contain the likes of Pant and Puran?
It's going to be a fascinating battle between bat and ball.
Absolutely. Delhi's bowling strength versus Lucknow's batting firepower.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Something's got to give right.
And I have to ask, what about those early predictions? I've seen some people leaning towards Delhi.
Yeah, there's a bit of a buzz around them. And some platforms are giving them a slight edge in the win probability.
53%, I think I saw somewhere.
Right around there.
Yeah.
And that probably reflects the perceived improvement in their bowling.
Makes sense.
Plus, there's a bit of uncertainty about how Rishabh Pant will perform in his first match back as captain after that injury.
Yeah. Fair point. It'll take him some time to get back into the groove.
Exactly. But you know, T20 cricket is a funny game.
It's unpredictable.
One brilliant over one drop catch can change the entire course of the match.
Absolutely. So let's play out a couple of scenarios, just for fun.
Okay, I like this.
Say Delhi wins the toss and chooses to bat first.
On that Visakhapatnam pitch, they could aim for a score around 180-190.
And with their improved bowling attack.
They'd back themselves to defend that total for sure.
Sounds plausible. Now, what if Lucknow bats first?
Well, with Pant and Porin in their ranks, they could easily reach 175, 185, or even more.
If they get going, it could be a tough chase.
It could. But Delhi's bowlers, Stark and Kuldeep especially,
Hmm.
they could be the key to restricting them.
So no matter who bats first, it seems like we're in for a high-scoring thriller.
It's shaping up that way for sure.
And if you had to pick a side right now, based on everything we've discussed,
Yeah. It's tough, but I'd probably give Delhi a very slight edge.
their bowling does look menacing.
It does.
Yeah.
And their batting isn't too shabby either.
But you never know with Lucknow,
They've got that firepower that can turn a game on its head in a matter of overs.
so it's all to play for.
Absolutely. Should be a cracking match.
Now, for those of you who like to geek out on the details, let's talk probable playing 11s.
Okay, let's do it.
Starting with the Delhi Capitals, who do you think they'll send out?
Well, at the top of the order, you got to have Jake Fraser McGurk.
He's the one to watch.
He is young, aggressive, fearless.
Yeah,
He'll set the tone.
I like it. And his partner.
The experienced Faf du Plessis, steady head, cool under pressure.
A perfect foil for Fraser McGurk's youthful exuberance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then at number 3, the big man himself,
KL Rahul.
Mr. 14 Crore.
That's the one. He'll also be donning the wicket-keeping gloves.
So crucial in T20 cricket, a good wicket-keeper batsman.
It is. Then at number 4, they could go with Abhishek Parel.
Another promising young batsman.
He's got talent, for sure. Then you've got the captain Axar Patel.
The all-rounder.
Right, he'll be crucial in the middle order.
Batting and bowling. Exactly. A valuable asset.
Hmm.
Then maybe Kristen Stubbs lower down the order.
The power hitter.
Yeah, he can clear the ropes with ease.
And Lalit Yadav providing that extra all-round option.
Good thinking. And in the bowling attack, well, it pretty much picks itself.
Yeah, it's strong.
Mitchell Stark to lead the pace attack.
The spearhead.
Kuldeep Yadav as the main spinner.
The wicket taker.
T. Natarajan for those death overs.
That's specialist.
And Mukesh Kumar as the other Indian pace bowler.
So a well-balanced attack.
They've got all the bases covered. And their impact player options, well, they could go with Samir Rizvi to bolster the batting.
If they need extra runs.
Or Mohit Sharma to add more firepower to the pace attack.
So plenty of flexibility there.
They've got options depending on the match situation.
Okay, so that's Delhi's likely lineup. Now let's move on to the Lucknow Supergiants. Who are they likely to field?
Okay, so for Lucknow, they could open with Yudhvir Charak.
Another exciting young prospect.
Yeah, he could be dangerous at the top of the order.
And his partner,
The experienced Mitchell Marsh.
the Aussie all-rounder.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He can
good.
bat, he can bowl, he's a valuable asset.
Then at number 3, the captain himself, Rishabh Pant.
The heart and soul of their batting lineup,
He'll be eager to make a statement in his first match back.
for sure. And then you've got Nicholas Poran coming in at 4.
The power-hitting duo.
They could be devastating together.
And at number 5, another young talent, Ayush Badoni.
He's shown glimpses of his potential.
And then the experience of David Miller at 6.
Mr. 360, he can hit the ball anywhere.
And Abdul Samad to provide that lower order hitting.
Yeah, he can clear the ropes with ease.
Then you've got Shabazz Ahmed, the spin bowling all-rounder.
Provides that extra balance to the side.
And the spin department, well, Ravi Bishnoi is their main man.
The wily leg spinner.
And Avish Khan as the frontline pace bowler.
He'll be looking to make early inroads.
And Shamar Joseph, the West Indian, quick.
Adds that extra pace and bounce to the attack.
So another strong lineup.
They've got firepower and experience.
And their impact player options
Well, they could go with Mayank Yadav if he's fit.
to strengthen their pace bowling.
Or Rajvardhan Hangarkar, another pace bowling all-rounder.
So they've got options depending on the match situation.
Exactly. They're not short on talent, that's for sure.
All right, so we've dissected the teams, we've looked at the pitch and the history, and even made a few predictions.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. But before we wrap things up, let's just recap those key takeaways, those strategic points that you really need to keep in mind when you're watching this match.
Okay, so first and foremost, that Visakhapatnam pitch, it's a batsman's paradise.
So expect runs galore.
Definitely. Could be a high-scoring affair.
And while the Pacers might get some early movement,
The spinners are going to be crucial.
especially in those middle overs,
They'll be looking to control the flow of runs and pick up those key wickets.
so keep an eye on how the spinners are used.
Absolutely. And then we've got that classic clash of styles.
Delhi's bowling versus Lucknow's batting.
Can Delhi's bowlers contain Lucknow's explosive batsmen? That's the million-dollar question.
And we can't forget about those fitness concerns surrounding Lucknow's bowlers.
Right, Mayank Yadav and Mohsin Khan, if they're not fully fit, that could be a big factor.
It could put extra pressure on their other bowlers.
Exactly. So that's something to watch out for.
All right, so there you have it, folks. The Delhi Capitals versus the Lucknow Supergiants.
It all kicks off on March 24th.
7:30 p.m. India time.
Should be a cracking game.
We've analyzed the teams, the pitch, their past encounters.
We've looked at probable lineups, key strategic points.
We've even made a few predictions.
What do they say about T20 cricket?
It's a game of glorious uncertainties.
Absolutely. All the analysis in the world can go out the window when you've got one moment of brilliance.
One dropped catch, one inspired spell of bowling.
That's the beauty of this format.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Every ball is an event.
So as you get ready to watch this match, keep this in mind.
Okay, I'm listening.
New captains, new team compositions.
Intriguing.
What kind of surprises do they have in store for us? What tactical masterstrokes will they unleash? Ooh, I like that. And how will that impact player role now in its second season? How will that come into play?
It adds a whole new dimension to the game.
It does. So many possibilities, so many unknowns.
I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
Me neither. It's going to be a fascinating start to the IPL season.
I'm already excited.
Me too. Enjoy the match, everyone, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.